Hi, my name is Larry Gonzalez and welcome to Big Time Paranormal. I am the founder of Big Time Paranormal on Facebook, and I am very grateful to Worldwide Paranormal Network, who allows me to come here each and every week to bring the latest news of the past week and also talk about conventions or anything that might be of interest. Now, on Facebook, I usually cover anything from hauntings to UFOs to Bigfoot to cutting edge technology to metaphysics. And also we try to make you smile by posting funny pictures. I am also assisted by my friend Julia Di Maria, and also on this show my wife and my daughter also helps me with the editing and finding stories for each and every one of you. So without further ado, let's get started with some of the news of the past week. Now, some of you may know the name Kip Moore. He is a country music star, and he said something very interesting on a radio show. But if you're not familiar with his talent, take a look at his video and you'll see that this man does have talent. So I love that song, but we only can play a small part of it because, country music's not for everyone, and, by legal reasons, I can't play the whole thing. Now, what he said in an interview with Country Vibe News, he had spoke about how he was being haunted by a woman ghost in a place where he's actually recording his second album. Now, this is only a audio clip. There's no video, so but it was on YouTube, so we'll play it for you so you can hear it for yourself. Okay, so as you can hear for yourself, he believes it's a female ghost that's been making noise around the studio that he's been working out of. Now, this also reminded me of the past week. I had heard this story before, and I thought I would bring it back to play a little bit of it too. Many of you remember the actress Fran Drescher. Now, Fran Drescher was the nanny on the TV show many, many years ago. And once you hear her voice, you cannot forget her. So anyway, she claimed that she and her husband, I'm sure it was her first husband, when they were teenagers, that they were abducted by aliens. So I found this small clip on YouTube and we'll just play it for you. So you can see that I play these things for you guys so you guys can see for yourself that it isn't just some guy in a fishing boat in the middle of the bayou seeing these things. These are things that are being seen by ordinary people and also people that are in the entertainment field. We also, we've spoken about different celebrities that have been haunted, have seen ghosts and so on, and there's TV shows that show those kind of things, so you shouldn't be surprised, but that's what it reminded me of. Alright, so our next story, we're going to go outside of the paranormal field, and we're going to actually be covering some of the stuff that's been going on in the country. These two stories are kind of related to each other. They're actually having to do with the insect world invading parts of the United States that they weren't here before. The Asian tiger mosquito invading the U.S. We'll go ahead and play a video for you guys so you can get a better idea of what this thing's about. Okay, so there's that story. The next story is something I heard about. I've been hearing about this story about the last 2 or 3 weeks, and it happened to Linda Moulton Howe on Coast to Coast AM with George Norrie was reporting about this. It's about the crazy ants that have been attacking down, well, not so much attacking, but taking over parts of the Southwest, starting with Texas. So here's the video on that one. Now the thing is that he makes light of it a little bit, But it's really becoming a problem with the crazy ants, because the crazy ants are getting into electrical boxes, into electrical systems of the homes, television sets, radios, stereos, anything that's electrical. And they are causing all kinds of problems with short-circuiting equipment and so on like that. Now, scientists are actually hoping that they're able to contain these ants in the Southwest, because they like it where it's warm. So they're hoping that as time goes by, they don't get accustomed to cold weather, because if they get out of the Southwest, it can really become even more of a problem. Now, you might be saying, oh, so what, it's ants, but they're actually driving out the fire ants, and fire ants are the ones that bite. I remember when I was a kid, I used to go to my grandfather's ranch in New Mexico, and he had fire ants there, and I remember I got attacked by them, and did they bite? Oh my gosh, it felt like somebody took a fire stick, blew out the fire, and started mashing the head of the matchstick that was hot against my skin. And good thing it was out on the ranch, because I pulled my pants off and I had all kinds of bites on me. That's how bad the fire ants are. Now, when fire ants don't like these crazy ants, then you know there's a problem, because not only are they the fire ants, all the local insects are trying to get away from them. Birds don't like them, so it's becoming a real problem, and the locals are asking the government to step in to help them to try to contain them. One of the problems, they don't have any natural predators that are here to try to stop them. So we'll see as time goes by what happens with that. Okay, so now we're going to move into conventions. Now, usually we talk about conventions that are coming up. This time around, we're going to actually cover a convention that was already covered by the local news, and it has to be about a convention. It happens to be about a convention about Bigfoot. This was covered by CBS Atlanta back in January 15th, 2013. So let's watch the video on how the news handled this convention. Okay, so it gives you an idea how these conventions kind of work. I prefer to go to these conventions myself if I could, and check them out myself, because there's a lot of interesting stuff that you just can't get off the screen, and there's a lot of questions I'm sure you would ask if you were there in person. Whether it's a Bigfoot convention, a UFO convention, a haunted convention, any kind of conventions that you might know about, let us know here on Big Time Paranormal and Worldwide Paranormal Network. We'd be more than happy to be able to let others know about you. And if you can put together a promo for us to... That's my cat meowing. It threw me off. Let us know by putting together a video so we can actually show it right here, because let's face it, the best-selling thing is if somebody can watch it and say, oh, I have to go to that. But remember, I saw a advertisement for a convention earlier when I was doing research. It's in Chicago, but it didn't say the date or anything. So make sure that you put those kind of promos together with all the information, so we know where, when, and who is going to be at that convention. So check it out. Okay, so in the middle of that editing that you just saw me go from one position to another, I just let my cat out into the garage, so that won't be anymore. So okay, so now what we're going to talk about next is actually, it is what I would call a special report. Now, some of you have seen the TV spots, or if you've been to the movies, you've seen the movie trailer for Pacific Rim that's coming out. Now, why I'm bringing that up is because it has to do with these exoskeletons that the soldiers are putting on to actually use like avatars for these giant, for the giant robots that are going to fight these big monsters coming out of the ocean. It's almost like Robotech meets Godzilla. Okay, or Robotech Transformers meet Godzilla in Monster Island, whatever. So I thought, okay, now you have these exoskeletons, so let's take a look at the trailer. So if you haven't seen what I'm talking about, take a look at the trailer and you'll get a better idea what I'm talking about. Okay, so I'm a big sucker for these kind of movies, okay? I will admit I'm going to go check it out. It's a good popcorn eating movie. Now, exoskeletons are something that's been talked about in science fiction for the longest time. And, of course, we all know about Iron Man. Iron Man is basically an exoskeleton where he puts it on and his strength is enhanced, his abilities are all enhanced. You know, of course, you still have to have the brain power to be able to put all this together. But I found something that was rather humorous. If Tony Stark and Pepper were able to have a child, it would probably look like this with an exoskeleton. Take a look. Yeah. I would see that. That would be actually pretty cute. All right. So, now, to get to the actual report, let's take a look and see where exoskeletons are going in the real world, where it comes to not only military or private organizations putting something together to help everyday life. So let's take a look at this report I found on YouTube. Close by, we're going to see this thing go from science fiction to science fact. And of course, as you can imagine, people with money will probably get the first jump on them, and as time goes by, the rest of us will benefit. But I can see nursing homes and so on like that helping with, we have, and I'm not trying to put down patients that are heavy, okay, but sometimes they do need extra help. And sometimes when you have a little woman about 100 pounds trying to pick up someone that's 300, 400 pounds, even with help, it could cause back injury. Well, this stuff would be a great help. So we have that coming to you.